Hunting and gathering food. Kootenai. Since the Kootenai lived near lakes and rivers, they fished. They were also hunters and gatherers. The heavily forested mountainous region teemed with plants and animals. The balance of the year was spent hunting game. The mountains were rich in bear, brown, black, and grizzly, bighorn sheep, caribou, cougar, deer, ducks, elk, fox, geese, grouse, ptarmigan, and mountain goats. Before the hunt, a religious ceremony was held. The people chanted, danced, and sang. All this was to celebrate for a good hunt. During the spring cycle, the men fished and hunted for bear, beaver, deer, marmot, and occasionally buffalo. The women foraged for food. They dug roots, picked blackberries, blueberries, chokecherries, huckleberries, serviceberries, thornberries, nuts, and seeds. They also trapped small animals. In the spring, the Kootenai migrated to fishing camps along the Kootenai River where salmon were bountiful. Sometimes the women participated in fishing activities. Thousands of salmon flourished and migrated upstream to spawn in the Kootenai River. The Kootenai used baskets, bows and arrows, gaffs, harpoons, and spears to catch the salmon. Salmon were dried in the sunlight and stacked in piles and stored for winter. Salmon fillets, fat, and berries were ground in mortar and pestles. They patted the mixture into cakes called pemmican and stored them in salmon skins. The salmon skins were stored in underground pits for winter. Other wild fish caught were bull trout, cutthroat trout, kokanee salmon, rainbow trout, and mountain whitefish. The Kootenai used to trap fish. They built V-shaped stone dams called weirs that reached across the river about 3 feet in height to slow the fish enough to spear them with a harpoon and line. A major portion of their diet was made up of native fish caught in the Kootenai River. Fish were baked, boiled, broiled, or smoked. Some were sun-dried and preserved in cedar box bins. Fishing lasted through the summer and continued into the autumn season. During the summer, the women picked bitterroot and dug camas and other roots. Digging sticks were used to dig a variety of roots, which were made from a branch with antler handles and a fire-hardened point. Elk horn was also used for digging. The camas was baked in underground fire pits. After the roots were baked, they would either store it for winter or pound it into flour to make camas bread. They used baskets to carry berries, nuts, roots, and seeds. They stored their food underground in baskets inside cedar boxes and covered with earth and boughs. The Kootenai put berries, dry fish, jerked meat, and roots in these baskets to be stored underground for winter. Pemmican was also made from jerked meat, pounded fine in a mortar and pestle and mixed with melted fat, made into cakes with chokecherries or berries and stored for the winter. Seeds and berries were picked and roots dug in autumn. In autumn, the Kootenai Indians held deer drives. Deer were in abundance, providing a constant food source. A deer hunt leader was elected who led the excursion. Drives were held by encircling the deer, trapping them in netting in the center, and killing them. When the Kootenai people got horses, they began to hunt buffalo on the Great Plains. It was dangerous to hunt buffalo on the plains. Enemy war tribes, such as the Blackfoot tribe, raided and fought with the tribes such as the Kootenai. The Kootenai were allies with the Flathead, Pend d'Oreille, and Nez Perce Indians. These tribes would go to the plains together in one large buffalo hunt every autumn. Buffalo hunting was an exciting event. Once the scouts had located the buffalo, the braves formed a wide circle around them. The hunters rode as close to the animals as possible to shoot them. They had to get close enough for their arrows to pierce the tough hide of the buffalo. Women skinned the buffalo with stone knives. Scrapers made from buffalo ribs and stone chips were used to clean the inside of the hide. The meat was dried on racks to store it for later use. The hide was soaked for a short time. Then it was staked to the ground and stretched and pulled until it was dry and flexible. Scrapers were used again to make the hide the correct thickness. Then the hide was soaked to close the pores. This helped to keep the hide pliable and waterproof. It also prevented the hair from falling out. Warriors used the thick hide from the neck area of the buffalo to make their shields. The Kootenai Indians used fire-heated stones that were transferred to earthen pots containing water for cooking. Meat was boiled, also in birch bark bowls and watertight baskets. One basket that they made was a watertight basket of split reeds and could be used to boil meat using fire-heated stones. This was a custom they adopted from the Plains Indians. Meat was also jerked for winter. The winter cycle involved hunters taking large game, some fishing, and use of berries, jerked meat, roots, and other foods, which were stored.